All right, we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Keyboard Warriors, presented by RepTheWarriors.com. I'm Eddie Law. That's just Bakala. Fred Kirby. Fred Kirby's out right now, so we're not sure if he's going to make it tonight. He is out.
Hopefully enjoying some delicious pizza and having some beer and such.
Right, that's the idea. So, our homeboy's out there doing his thing. So more than likely I can make it tonight, but it's all good. We're here. Last week I know we didn't have a show last week, and I had family stuff to fun, good family stuff to do. So, but we're back this week and hitting it right away. Man, hit it hard. Bunch of fights announced today. In fact, we'll start off with let's just start off with Jon Jones, Thiago Santos announced. I think main event for UFC 239 in Vegas, I want to say. So we had talked about this before. And again, this is an interactive show. So as soon as I hit the topic, start firing away in the comment section. I read your comments and everything. As I give our takes, we give you guys time to throw in your comments and everything. So hit us up, comments, questions on the comment box. We don't discriminate. So do your thing. All right. So Jon Jones, Thiago Santos. Jesse, we just had Jon Jones, Anthony Smith. I think we talked about it being like a similar kind of fight, with Santos being a little more dangerous. But I can't remember if it was you or Fred that said that it might even be an easier night for Jones. But what do you think about this fight?
It sucks because I feel like this is the Cejudo thing, right? With Mighty Mouse, I feel like it might be a little bit too early for Santos to really, give himself a good showing, kind of like Anthony Smith. Right. I feel like Smith, just the inexperience is what got him in that fight. He kind of was in there, did a little bit of what he was supposed to do, and then froze up with, having the greatest in front of him. And you just kind of saw his whole game fall apart after that. He started gassing out, all this other things. And I think Santos, if anything, he's going to have to go for that knockout right away. And if not, it's going to be a terrible night for that guy. Yeah, I think it might be an easier night for Jon Jones. And honestly, I'm the only one that has been saying that Jon doesn't want to go up to heavyweight. And so, not unless it's for the right fight. And so if he's just going to stay at lightweight, just keep throwing him all these guys and, just letting them keep getting those reps, keep getting those pay-per-view views, and keep them in the spotlight, especially right now, because we don't have that many big stars. One of our big stars is now trying to negotiate, the UFC type negotiation tactic, and it doesn't seem to be working too well for him on his side. Right. So Jon Jones, basically he's got to step up now, and he's got to be the showrunner here, and he's got to be the big boss, like he should be, right? He should be the guy that draws a lot of eyes to the sport. So it just sucks that he doesn't have that DC type of rivalry, that Cody and TJ rivalry. Like there isn't that rivalry. But as long as we get him reps and he's does this thing and looks great every single fight, why not? Let's get it.
Yeah, I legit was warming up to that Stipe fight. The rumor came out, I think today or yesterday, talking about Stipe Jones.
Didn't he he tweeted about that? What was it, yesterday or even?
I think today or yesterday.
Yeah, like even earlier today before everything was announced, right?
Yeah. I was like, Stipe Jones? I'm cool with it. Yeah, fuck yeah, let's do it. I want to see what Jones looks like. I just want to see what Jones looks like a heavyweight, even if it's not with DC right away. Like, I want to see what it looks like a heavyweight, and I want to see DC Jones a heavyweight. But, like you said, you got to give him some reps, right? And why not? Especially with him having to step up. I don't think he's worried about Thiago Santos at all. Like, he wasn't worried about Anthony Smith, right? So, I don't think he'll be worried about Santos. Real quick in the YouTube comments. MMA guys, what up, dude? Raiders here. What's up? MMA guy says, what's up, Eddie? Hope you and the guys are doing good. We're doing very well. Appreciate it, man. George Tremendous, my dudes. What's up? Raider says, Santos has a long record. I think he doesn't get enough credit. He has good cardio and he's durable as fuck. Damn right, right? But, okay, Jesse, when you compare Anthony Smith and Santos, do you see, like, similar fighters?
No. No? I agree with MMA gods. He will definitely do better than Lionheart.
Yeah.
I just think it's kind of like I think it's kind of like an early Rumble Johnson, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, I think this is kind of what we're going to get. We're going to get what Rumble Johnson might have been able to do against Jon Jones, because they're kind of the same fighter, right?
Right.
Rumble Johnson was big on the power, not as good in the cardio, had decent wrestling. And it looks like Santos is that type of guy. Big, strong power, humongous power, you know. But the only thing that worries me is the fact that he was able to get KO'd and slept by David Branch not too
Yeah.
long. And, you know, John Jones isn't known as a knockout artist, and David Branch isn't either, but he's accurate and he's very good at his slipping the punches and countering people. And I
Right.
think John Jones can use that to exploit, you know, that kind of weakness that, you know, David Branch exposed. But who knows, man? You know, I think that was at 170, wasn't it?
It was yeah, low. It was
No, 185. 185.
185, and that's a cut for everybody. But
Right. So I think now Santos maybe, you know, shored that up, you know, not cutting now at 205, you know, probably won't happen to him. But, you know, there are things that I think Santos will be able to do to John Jones and give him different looks, something that we haven't seen him go up against before. You know, this will be a unique fight for him. So I agree. I agree with MMA Gods. I think it'll definitely be one of those fights that at least it'll be better than what we saw in the Lionheart fight.
yeah, and honestly, the Lionheart fight, I thought, I mean, he obviously made off 5 rounds. I thought he would have done better. And, you know, watching him live, I was like, come on, like you found yourself pulling for him, like, come on, dude, land something, make this crazy. And just the fact that he just, you know, that he lasted as long as he did. There were obviously legal knees, whatever, and all the shit that happened, but still. But yeah, the company that Jason's talking about, MMA God says 18 fights in the UFC since 2013. I think he'll do better than Lionheart. Yeah. Frederick, what's up, dude? Frederick asks, will he even land on Jones? So that's a good question. But
I think so. I mean,
yeah.
It seems to me that everybody seems to land on Jones, but if you don't land and capitalize on what you do initially,
Right.
That's it. You only get one shot at Jones. He doesn't make same mistakes more than once. You know, he's very Mighty Mouse in that approach where he figures out what you're doing, he shuts that off and takes that weapon away from you. So you have to modify and change your game plan. And if you don't, and all you're doing is stuck trying to do the same thing, he just eats you up and takes you out because of that. So
Yeah, no, I agree with you. He's gonna land on him. It's just like you said. Like, I mean, shit, you hit spot on. Guys land on John Jones and they don't capitalize. Gustafson landed on him and he tried to capitalize, just couldn't finish him. DC had a lot of those uppercuts landing. He just couldn't, land a big one. But I think he has a good chance. I'm with you on it. I do feel robbed that we never got that fucking Rumble Johnson fight though. Johnson Jones would have been the shit. All right. Raider says I've refused to spend money on John Jones fights because of what happened when I was at 200. But I love Santos, and I might have to break down on this one. What she's talking about, John Jones testing positive and having that DC fight canceled, and DC ended up fighting Anderson Silva on 24 hours notice, which is crazy that they even sanctioned that fight. Frederick says, sure, but Jones also rolls well with strikes, not quite like a Silva, but still. And that's one of the reasons why he's able to absorb the shots that he does. Is he rolls with him the way Silva does. He rolls with him the way the Diaz brothers do, right?
yeah.
So it's hard for him. He absorbs it quite well. So, and I don't remember seeing John Jones ever dropped. Has he ever been dropped? Did Gus drop him ever?
No, he stunned him. I think
he stunned him, but
I think the closest we've ever seen to him getting dropped was probably that first Gustafson fight in what was it in the third or fourth round where Gus was really pouring it on. And he kind of just wobbled Jones, but he never really stunned him, put him down. So yeah, I mean, obviously John Jones has a good enough chin, and we've seen it tested time and time again. And even though some people still have questions on his chin, I don't think that's the real issue. I think the real issue is just how much preparation John Jones puts into these fights and how well he executes his game plan. When he's on point on his game plan, I mean, he's untouchable, man. He makes people look foolish in there. So,
I thought that's what he was gonna do with Lionheart. I legit, when the fight started, I was like, yeah, quick night at the office. We'll be out of here in a little bit. Get to dinner, right? Get out as far as we can from the arena and get the dinner. And no, it was a 5-rounder, and so, but I gave Lionheart credit for that for sure. It wasn't like John Jones we're gonna put on a show. It was a good fucking it was Lionheart doing his fucking best to do something. A lot of heart in that guy. Raider says Santos is perfect for this. He doesn't speak English, so the head games can be minimal at fight week. I think Santos isn't one of those guys that that mean mugs or anything, right? Or is he?
No, not really. Santos
he's pretty respectful.
He's respectful, and he kind of knows what the game is about. He
knows
that he's going in there to fight. You know, try to do the best he can. He seems like a young, just energetic kid. You know, he's still pretty young. So I mean, like everybody's saying in the comments, it'll be interesting to watch this fight go down. I know Fred's not here, but we have to address the fact that Fred has been championing for the fact that John Jones needs to move up to heavyweight. Yeah. And it's a little bit of a disappointment in the sense that we kind of see how this fight is going to go down.
Yeah.
And we all believe that Santos maybe isn't there yet. Maybe he'll be interesting as a prospect, but I don't think he'll be able to be the one to defeat John Jones. And I think everybody can kind of agree with that. And I think we're all ready to see John Jones really tested to the highest level, kind of like a DC rematch at heavyweight. A Stipe, you know, or any heavyweight fight would have been much more interesting than what's going on right now. But hey, this is what we get, and I guess this is what we got to roll with, right?
Right. And I mean, I think we'll get this fight, and once this fight's over, should John Jones win, I think he moves up for at least a bout at heavyweight against DC. I legit believe that Lesnar's never coming back, but that's just me. I'm probably wrong, but you know, I really want to see Jones DC at heavyweight. All right, the other fight that was announced for UFC 239, you guys, you know, chime in on this one too. Holly Holm gets the challenge for the bantamweight title, right? Not the featherweight. Is that right?
I didn't even see what it was.
I just saw it. All right. Amanda Nunes versus Holly Holm targeted for UFC. Obviously, these aren't completely official fights. These are what was, you know, called verbally agreed to. So they said, yeah, we'll fight each other, whatever. This is fighting for where the hell? Oh, the bantamweight title. Amanda Nunes is gonna defend her 135. Thanks, Raider. Yeah, Raider confirms bantamweight. Her 135-pound belt against Holly Holm. I think Holly Holm's obviously former bantamweight champion. Gets another shot to get her belt back. I think I had somebody on Instagram. Obviously, by the way, at Keyboard Warriors MMA on Instagram, follow us. I always put you know, a fucking question on the story, like, hey, what fucking topic should we cover? And someone hit me up saying Holly Holm, or like really Holly Holm or whatever. And I was just like, I mean, I get the sentiment, right? I get the feeling like, yeah, really Holly Holm, but who else is gonna throw in there at 135, right? Like they just Jessica I, you know what I mean? Like she's gonna get just destroyed. Who just got beat? Rocky Pennington at 135.
Yeah,
and she got beat by her friend on top of that. So, I mean, it's just one of those fights you're like, all right, why not? Another big girl, see what happens. What do you think about this fight?
Yeah, it comes at a right time. I think this is what we are getting because of Holly Holm just signing a 7-fight contract or a 7-figure contract or something like that.
Right.
So, I mean, this is kind of expected that she was going to get the next title shot off of, you know, re-upping her contract and everything, renegotiated her contract. So, yeah, I guess, I mean, you can't really point to somebody else that really deserves that title shot.
Right.
So,
exactly.
Why not, right? I mean, yeah, of course, there is a Jessica out there. She's on a, 2-3 fight win streak, you know? I mean, I guess, but also it is the name. You know, Holly Holm does bring a name, Amanda Nunes, you know, so it should be an interesting fight. I think the other thing, which I kind of want to get somebody on here from any kind of sports management, if anybody knows anybody that would be willing to talk to us, is the whole restructuring of the pay-per-view model. I don't know if we're going to touch on this maybe later on, but now that the pay-per-view model is moving from what it was before on cable networks and stuff, and now it's going straight to ESPN.
Right.
How is that going to impact the fighters, kind of like a Holly Holm, like an Amanda Nunes, a John Jones, who usually
pay?
Yeah, the pay-per-view points.
That's a good question.
How is that going to get restructured, especially since, you know, now ESPN is going to be able to offer deals of like, you know, buy 2 get 1 free or whatever the hell, or you know, pay for a year of ESPN and you get the next pay-per-view for free or whatever, you know, like, yeah, those incentives are great for us and we're getting $5 off of the pay-per-views from now on.
Yeah.
But that also means that we have to subscribe to ESPN Plus and all this other stuff. So what does that mean for the fighters? Does that mean they get a bigger chunk of the money? Does that mean they get to keep, you know, they get better purses in the long run? Is this why we have so many fighters renegotiating contracts now? You know, there's a lot of questions going about this. So I think moving forward, it'll be interesting to see how these payouts and, you know, what the quote unquote pay-per-view styles are going to look like moving forward.
And the funny thing, now you mentioned pay-per-views, and I was going to talk about that in a minute here. Conor McGregor is the worst time possible to make that switch over to all ESPN Plus, because now we're going to get the questions answered of how you going to pay for pay-per-view points and all that with the most expensive dude on the roster. So, yeah, Dana White, way to go, bro. Couldn't have waited another 2 months, huh? But it's all good.
MMA God's correcting us. Jessica is at 125.
125. Yeah, no, good call on that. And actually, is that who Valentina's fighting next? I think I'm wrong on that. Who's not. Valentina fighting next?
I hope not.
Dude, maybe. I think that's the fight. Someone in the comments, let me know. Let me know if that's the one, because I want to say that's the one. Yeah, that's the one. UFC 238, in fact. Same same card as the Cejudo Moraes fight, which we'll talk about right now in a second here.
And the other two names that MMA God brought up was GDR and Caitlin Vieira. Both
right, so I'm not, yeah.
Both tough to market, honestly. Especially Jermaine. Yeah, just because of everything that went down with her in the title. It's hard for anybody to really say that she could actually pull some marketing behind her. Caitlin Vieira, but she's not a very well-known name. That's the other problem.
On top of that, she's not super experienced either. I don't want to see her go in there and get fucked up. You know what
I mean, that's going to happen either way, right?
Yeah, Nunes is a monster. But yeah, you're right. And shout out MMA Guts for calling that one. GDR is on there. Holly Holmes number 2. So Durandamy's number 1. Holly Holmes number 2. Vieira's number 3. Raquel's number 4. Kat Zingano rounds out number 5. Then you got Aspen Ladd, Yana Kunitskaya, Mary Brunel, Sarah McMahon, Irene Aldana, and then Tanya Evans is number 11. But yeah, at this point, it's like, who else are you going to throw in there? You got Holly Holm. For whatever reason, they didn't throw GDR in. Not for whatever reason. For reasons you mentioned. It's hard to market someone that won, that beat, who'd she beat? Holly Holm? Or beat Holly Holm? And then dropped the belt because she didn't want to fight Cyborg. What are you going to do? Meanwhile, the champ that she would want to fight at 135 knocked Cyborg the fuck out. So, it took a belt. All right. Oh, excuse me. Let's see here.
By the way, Raider Jab, that is kind of disturbing, but I could see where a lot of people won't agree with your desire there.
Yeah, and Raider says, my desire to see Holly Holm face down in the match probably disturbing. Like, yeah, she's a tough chick though. What's up, QC? It was good. Frederick says Nunes will KO Holm viciously, kneel in the center, cry, and leave her gloves there, retired. Watch. I mean, I guess I could see that happening. I don't want to see that happen, to be completely honest. But
that'd be terrible.
But like I want to see Nunes keep fighting, right? But the other question too is who you gonna throw in there with her. So
I mean at this point she could be like the Mighty Mouse, rack up a bunch of wins, beat Ronda Rousey's title defenses, and just be the greatest of all time in the women's division in the UFC, because nobody's going to match what she's doing. So,
Frederick says that sounded sad. Yeah, well, All right. The other fight that was another fight that was announced, was a bunch announced today, but another one that was.
What the hell?
Dude, it happened again. Fred's not even here. We turned into a pumpkin.
That's awesome.
That's fucking ridiculous. All right.
So we can't say it's Fred.
We can't say it's Fred. Yeah, it's totally me. Oh, well. All right. So, you coughed, booted Eddie. Yeah, you coughed and it kicked me right off the show. Anyway, no. So, the fight, I don't like the fight. I don't like a half of the fight.
Which fight?
The one we're about to talk about right now. The one half that I do like is Marlon Moraes fighting for the bantamweight title like he should be. The side that I don't like is Henry Cejudo is in there fighting him for the belt. What do you think about that
fight? It's tough, but the fact of the matter remains that we still don't know what the 125 men's division, where it's going to end up. Yeah. So if this is basically the UFC's way of telling us that 125 is going to go away after this fight, no matter what happens, or if Cejudo wins somehow miraculously by an act of God, then it makes sense, right? Because he's the last guy to beat TJ, juiced up TJ at that,
And DJ.
And DJ, right?
Yeah.
Two of the greatest quote unquote guys at their division. He beat them both, controversially in both of those, but whatever.
Yeah.
Still wins in his record book, but and if he manages to take over, the title here, I mean, that'll at least be the linear champion, in my opinion. Sure. And we can actually see it that way. Even if Marlon ends up winning, I mean, it just is going to be really nice that he took it off the guy to last beat the champion, even if it wasn't under the weight division. So I kind of like that. The only other person that I feel a little bit bad for is Aljamain Sterling, who's the other guy that kind of seems like he was right at the cusp there. Even though, that Marlon fight just happened, what was it, like over a year ago, maybe less than a year ago. So it's still kind of fresh in everybody's mind that he got, nasty KO'd by Marlon. But, I mean, I don't see too bad of I don't have too big of an issue with this. The bigger issue I have is that TJ, is not the champ anymore. And it leaves a bad taste in my mouth knowing that he was so angry that he didn't get to show more off in that fight because he kept saying that, I was way better than this, everything, all the work we put into the camp. And now it comes out that he popped for something, for that fight. So it just kind of gives you an idea of like, well, were you so upset because you maybe paid a guy so much money to get you there and get you that win and it didn't work out?
Right.
Or, like there's a lot of things wrong with that whole scenario. So at least this way, the slate will clear and at least get a champion at 135 and then we can move on from there.
Yeah, like I said, I'm super pumped for Moraes, but it should be Aljo versus Moraes in there. I don't think it should be like at least that, right? I don't like Cejudo being in there, but you're right. It's gonna be the end of 125. I think regardless of what happens at this point. Well, maybe he loses though. Then though, I don't know. I think either way, that shit's over. They already cut a whole bunch of the 125 roster.
Yeah, and if anything, Cejudo should be fighting against God, who's the guy that just won over the weekend?
Oh fuck, Munoz, right?
Was it Munoz?
So he's the one that knocked over the weekend. I have to look back at the card.
Was it over this weekend or last weekend? I didn't watch the cards, so I'm forgetting who it was. But it was what didn't Formiga just fight and win?
Let me make sure. Philadelphia. Again, breaking the fourth wall, fellas. We appreciate Formiga.
Yeah, there you go. Formiga, yeah.
That's what for courtesy of MMA gods. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Formiga is the guy that actually should be number one in the queue, right?
Right.
So if they're not giving him the title shot and they're just kind of keeping those guys busy at 125, it just doesn't give me that much confidence, especially because they've released a lot of the other guys and all this stuff. So to me, there's not a lot of stability as a 125er right now. I think this is the other reason why Cejudo's so desperate to fight, at 135, at least get himself in at 135, either as the number one contender or the champ, either way.
Yeah. So shout out Frederick's when I said Formiga. MMA guys, it sounds like they're keeping 125. I don't think they will, man. I think they're gonna drop that shit. But Pedro Munoz is a 135er. That's why. But I think he did fight like this last. I want to say this last weekend. No, Formiga did. He fought at the one before that. Was that Pedro Munoz? For some reason, I'm thinking of Pedro Munoz, and I don't understand why. All right. Regardless. So yeah,
it's either somebody that fought recently. What didn't Aljamain fight him just recently?
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe that's why. I don't know.
Why am I thinking Pedro? All right, fuck it, whatever. Move on. Marlon Vera too. He's a 135er though. I like Marlon Vera. Marlon Vera was a bad motherfucker this last weekend. Yeah. All right.
With the shots to the back of the head though, right?
Yeah, that was.
But you know what? Yeah. What was my favorite part about that though? His quote unquote apology. What? Where he was like, "Hey man, like my buddy got hit the same way in his last fight, so it happens."
Yeah, he's got the apology was like, "Yeah, bad." You know what I mean? He's kind of like that. All right, catch up on the comments here before we move on to talk about TJ here. Actually, no, one more fight we'll talk about in a second, and then we move on to TJ. MMA God said Dana said Holly, then Cyborg again, and then probably retirement for Nunes. That sounds about right, honestly. But I would hate seeing Nunes retire.
Who knows what's happening with Cyborg though? Because remember, they don't really want to sign her. I think she has one more fight on her contract, or maybe not. So who knows?
Oh, you okay? So with 239 to get home, you're gonna have to hold Cyborg out for a minute to get that fight. Be her last, last fight in the contract. And obviously, if she wins the title, right, the 145 belt off of Nunes, I think you get an automatic extension, like a fight extension or something like that. I forgot how that contract works, but Dana White's explained it a million times.
Yeah, but I don't think they want to give her that much power over their contract negotiations going in as a champion. I think they'll keep her away from that unless they lock her down for a longer contract before then.
Yeah, she's such a pain to deal with in a good way. You should stand up for yourself. You're a fighter. You should definitely go after how much you think you're worth, regardless of whether we agree with it or not, right? Like,
no doubt.
I don't care what anyone says. Like, for sure, go fucking get your money. If you feel like you're worth this much, go get it. You might not get it, all right? And we might not agree with you, but you should definitely go fucking get that money. Fuck all that. So, yeah. Frederick says, yeah, Cejudo shouldn't be fighting for this belt, bro. It's so stupid, man. I agree. MMA guy says Cejudo should be fighting at 125. He's just going to move back down. Just a money grab from Cejudo. Don't blame him. I don't either. Like I said, get your money. If they offer you that fight and they go, hey, we're going to pay you boom, boom, this much, you can negotiate a payday, negotiate your payday. It's like you don't get that long of a career. You know what I mean? Shit, they told me to fight someone you get a bunch of fucking money. I'd be like, yeah, I'll do that. Fuck. You can get mad if you want to. I'm taking that fight. All right. The other fight, and it's weird how unpumped, I guess, or lack of, I don't know. I'm happy about the fight. I'm kind of pumped about it. Robbie Lawler finally gets his rematch against Tyron Woodley. It isn't for the belt, but it is UFC Minnesota, I think. So they're headlining. Tyron Woodley went from pay-per-view to fight night. That was quick. But
an ESPN card, right? So
right. But I was hoping that Lawler was going to get a rematch, but he got finished so quick and so hard in their first fight that it's nice to get Lawler coming out. Look, I don't think Lawler lost any stock in that Askren fight, so I think it's a good matchup fight. But what do you think about the rematch and who you picking in this one?
Man, it'll be interesting to see because we saw what type of Tyron Woodley looks like when he just has so much on his plate, and it doesn't seem like he's taken anything off his plate. It just seems like he keeps adding more to his plate. So, and he's getting older. What did we say? He's 37, 36, 37?
Woodley's like 36.
Yeah. See, so I mean, I don't know. I don't know if maybe Woodley has another run in him. So I mean, it just kind of seems like it's a nice point for Robbie to try and get this one back. And I don't know if it's going to be the best for him, because if he gets snuffed out by Tyron Woodley and then maybe in one more fight Tyron Woodley retires, it just doesn't look good for Robbie Lawler. But, anytime you can get a loss back, why not, right?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I was kind of hoping they'd done it a lot sooner and for the belt, but unfortunately Lawler took a long time off and then didn't win his last fight. So, yeah. All right. I'm cool with the fight. I like T Wood to win again, but I'm pulling for Lawler. I just like Robert Lawler, especially after this Askren bullshit. So, well, I got bad coughs right now. It's really weird. It's fucking ridiculous. Itchy fucking cough throat thing. Anyway, all right, moving on.
It's going on right now.
Yeah, so
I have my household over there at home sick. So,
do you?
Oh yeah.
That sucks, man. I think my two had a sore throat and headache and shit, and I was like, "Oh, you guys okay? Whatever." And then I got it, so now I'm kind of annoyed at them. So, all right, what's we went on last week obviously, and the TJ Dillashaw news broke. TJ Dillashaw tested positive, got popped by USADA, and relinquished his 135 belt. But he got popped for his last fight at 125, right? So he relinquished the belt at 135, and to me, that's just getting ahead of some bullshit, right? Trying to be like, hey, it's all about respect, blah, blah. I did it for the good of the sport, relinquish my title, cool. But what did you think of the whole that whole thing going down with him?
I'm just gonna refer everybody to that interview that Cody Garbrandt did when they were.
Yeah.
Was it the first fight or second fight?
Oh man, I think it was the first one because he was talking about like you're the one that showed everyone a team alpha male how to juice and shit.
Yeah, yeah. It's always like that, right? Where there's smoke, there's fire. I mean, there's always been rumors of TJ kind of being a little bit of a shady guy.
Shit, everyone remember for a while people were like talking about his nipples. Like it was funny as shit. I was like, why y'all looking at his nipples? But they were like, he's got roid nipples, bro. He's got roid titties. Like, what? The fuck?
Hey, maybe. Who knows? Look, that's the only thing that sucks. USADA's not gonna say what he popped for. Neither is the New York State Athletic Commission.
Right.
The only person that can tell us is TJ, and he's not talking. But to me, you don't give up your title over something that's not true, right? You're not
right.
You're not just gonna be like, well, you guys, this is all false, and but I'm gonna give everything up, give everything back, and I'll be back. Like, no. You're screaming from the top of any mountaintop you can find, saying how innocent you are, how they're gonna have to rip this belt out of your cold dead hands, and they're gonna have to prove that you cheated. Mm-hmm. The other thing is that, sorry, is that Jay always talked about how he was getting tested daily. His blood work was getting done by this guy, this medical team, and all this stuff, and
right.
him tuned in, dialed in, all this stuff. Yet nothing ever popped for anything. They never found anything that was weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just seems like something fishy is going on here, and whatever he fought for, and that's a bad thing, right? We can all say that it might have been steroids. What I more than likely think it was is probably some kind of diuretic, for him trying to cut his weight down, and they were trying to give him something to give him that little extra edge to, get that last water weight off and get down to 125. Who knows? But the only thing I do know is that he cheated, obviously.
Yeah.
That popped, so, I mean, and he relinquished his title on his own, so yeah, he's out of sight, out of mind for at least a year in my book.
Right, but so the year suspension, okay, but the immediate relinquishing of the belt, just like you said, it reeks of, admitting like that you did some shit. Like it's almost like him saying like, "Oh, you guys got me, cool. Here's a belt. I'm gonna be gone for a year." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So 135 is a nice little question mark now. But obviously, Moraes, Cejudo fighting for that belt, whatever. But I'd like to think Mr. Dominic Cruz is lurking somewhere, going like, "I'm fucking coming back, bitches, gonna do this shit."
Unfortunately, I don't think he's coming back till next year.
Probably. Well, yeah, his shoulder's like fucked. So yeah,
poor guy.
He's still recovering.
But like he's probably like, hey doc, is there any way you could get me back in the cage like in the next 6 months?
Yeah. He's probably working defense. Is like, can I fight with one arm? Like one arm, single leg takedown. I think I could do that shit. No, but his was interesting. TJ just drops the belt, and I think just like a day, I think yesterday or the day before, I read something about Uriah Faber wants to come back and fight. Like Uriah Faber is like, oh shit, like it's no TJ, Cody's not gonna be fighting for the belt soon. Dom's out. Let's see what happens. You can see, I can see Uriah jumping in, fucking, and just like talking Dana into a title shot right away, or being like the backup for Cejudo or Moraes, and then like winning that belt. How crazy would that be,
dude?
Right? The dude that couldn't win a UFC title comes back and wins the UFC title in weird circumstances. But I don't think any of us would be mad about that.
Nah, especially if he like finagles it to be a fight in California.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Raiders of Team Alpha Male is probably salivating over this, but at the same time, they're down with the cheating too, since they had knowledge of it all. Well, I mean, Cody said it, so I wonder who else was juicing over there. All right. What else do I want to talk about? So it's a weird situation. HMSG says Faber won't win the belt. I don't think he beats anyone in the top 5. No, I agree. I'm just saying, like, he could probably talk Dana White to give him an 8 title shot. Just cuz. So, I think he could do it. I don't know. If they're gonna give Cejudo a shot. I think they'd give Favor a shot too, but whatever. All right. Mendez Raider says, yeah, Mendez. Chad Mendez, who got busted for shit. I think he's back though. He got knocked out in his last fight. Did he retire?
Yeah.
Mendez retired.
Supposedly. Yeah.
Supposedly, right. But yeah, I think definitely
Munoz won that retired.
Yeah. Right. But the funny thing is, Mendez got popped for shit. So first Mendez, not TJ. I don't know who else the team off of me was fucking up. All right. So again, this situation is complicated. It's big. So let's go back a couple days. I want to say a couple days. Conor McGregor announces his retirement. Now, we've been through this shit before. Thanks for the cheese, guys. That fucking tweet years ago.
On Tuesday.
Tuesday, yes. But now he announces one, I think on Tuesday, he announced it on Tuesday, saying he's retiring, he's doing the proper 12 thing, whatever the fuck. And that he's done, whatever. None of us believe it, right? This is a negotiation tactic and all that stuff. Here's where I got shitty for him is that now we're not okay. I think it was New York Times. The New York Times cited sources, right? Sources that Conor McGregor is being investigated for sexual assault in Ireland. Now, this has been a story for months in Ireland, but Irish law does not allow you to name names until there's a conviction. All right. And honestly, that's not a bad way to go because you could have what's up?
Until they arrest you, right? Or they charge you?
Until they convict you. If you get convicted, your name gets put out there.
Oh, damn. So you could go all the way to court and win the case.
But I don't mind that because some people get fucking falsely accused and they get dragged through the mud and they come out being innocent and all that damage was done. You know what I mean?
Jesse Smollett.
Jesse Smollett, who, by the way, is a sack of shit liar. Fuck that dude. All right. All right. How you gonna get off like that and then seal the case? Like your lawyer sealed the case so you can't ever find out what you really did, motherfucker? Like, come on, dog. Like, if you really believed you were innocent, you'd have gone through with the fucking you'd have gone through with the fact finding and having that come out. But you're not. You're a liar. Cheating. It was subject for another fucking podcast. But yeah, so in Ireland, you're not allowed to put that name out. That being said, according to the New York Times, they have sources. I think 4 sources, something like that. Now, formerly being a former journalist, you need at least 2 good sources to run with the story. And you actually want to go over that. You want to get like 3 or 4 or 5 to make sure you're not full of shit, right? But they went with 4 is her number that I've heard. So what they're saying, later, Frederick, appreciate you coming by, dude. They are naming Conor McGregor as the Irish superstar or the Irish sports star that's being investigated for sexual assault. So Conor's name's out there now the day after he fucking retires, right? And now everyone was like, "Is this connected? Did he retire because of the whatever the assault charge or the accusations or whatever?" So it looks bad for Conor right now, but it's just a weird situation for me because it's like you don't know for sure that it's him because it's just an accusation right now. There's some details that came out, but he hasn't been charged or arrested, right? He's only been questioned. So I mean, it's kind of a mess, and I've been ignoring it mostly today, right? Some people have been talking about it, but not many. And the UFC was, Johnny in the spot with announcing all these big fucking fights as soon as possible, so to get people talking about something else. Well, what's your take on this whole thing with Conor?
I think I brought it up when it was kind of first thrown out there in the media, and I said what I still believe to this day. Until something is proven differently, I think that he's way too famous,
right,
to be making mistakes like this, and I think that he may have the bravado of being like a bad guy, like a badass, whatever. But I think and like with his people, I just don't think he's that guy. I think he's just a nice kid, and I think he makes dumb decisions sometimes. And I think
right.
A lot of people was first getting into the UFC, and the whole John Jones things was happening. Even he was saying man, I don't understand why when you have everything, you throw it all away for dumb decisions, and yet here we are. And to me, I think that the fact that Conor is so well known, and to me, it's possible that somebody from his entourage went to after party with this girl, and you know, maybe trying to get money from him just because he's so famous. Who knows? Again, like we already said, he was taken into question. He cooperated, and they released him. As far as we know, they got a good enough information from him to not keep him as the guy, you know, the guy that did this. Obviously, there's some connection with him, but it doesn't mean that it's him. Now, like you said, it doesn't look good for him. It really sucks because now his negotiating tactic kind of looks like he's trying to avoid something else. You know, like you're saying, it comes out that, and here's the timeline. On Monday, he was on Jimmy Fallon, I think it was.
Yeah, that night, yeah.
He was on a late night show. And he was saying, you know, my next fight's in July. Then the next day, he goes on Twitter and says, I'm retiring. You know, and obviously we know that this is the way, you know, the UFC likes to negotiate.
Now,
you know,
real quick. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but just to make sure, I think that Fallon episode was taped weeks ago, like a couple weeks ago. You know about that? I think I don't think that show's live. I really don't, but I don't know for 100% sure. So if someone could, if anybody in the conversation can let us know, was that tape taped that day or taped live or whatever, or is it a couple weeks old? I think it was a couple weeks. That's just me. But yeah, I mean, yeah, comes out Jimmy Fallon. I'm gonna fight in July, then retires on Tuesday.
Right. It just to me seems like he was trying to negotiate something for July. You know, like the UFC likes to do. Oh, John Jones is fighting DC for the heavyweight title. And then, you know, of course, DC is like, I don't have a contract. John Jones is like, oh, well, let's make it happen. And then DC is like, nah. And then, you know, the UFC is stupid because they're trying to make this fight, trying to get all the crowd, like the public, to get behind them and be like, oh, yeah, it's a great fight, trying to convince the fighters. And it seems to me like Conor is trying to take a page out of the UFC's book and use the same tactic.
Right.
Failed. So then he's like, I'm going to take my ball and leave. But then this whole, like, you know, sexual assault thing is coming out on him. And so to me, like, now his position has gotten lower and lower. You know, now his negotiating position is now at a lower advantage to him. I don't know, man. I don't believe that he's retiring. And if you do believe that he's retiring, there's this awesome bridge with a nice ocean view that I got to selfie that's in Texas. And you know,
oh, man.
Look, we know this tactic. We've seen it before, and you know, Conor really knows how much he can command and move. It's just curious that, you know, Dana right away was like, oh yeah, well, he's making a killing with his proper 12. Good luck to him. You know, and it's just both of them throwing each other in their face like, oh, you don't want to be here? Fine, we don't need you. And then Conor's like, well, fine, I can leave with my proper 12. You know, it's like they need each other. They just need to come to an agreement and pick a fight and let's go.
Yeah. On a side note, I don't think that proper 12 is doing that well. That shit does not taste good. If you're a whiskey drinker, you did not like that shit. Like, I think if you're like beginner, if you're a beginner whiskey drinker, you'd be like, oh, that's all right, smooth. But if you like, I like whiskey a lot, so like I like buying the good shit, right? And I didn't buy a bottle because I wasn't gonna pay money for that. But one of my friends bought a bottle and he gave me a little glass of it, right? And sipping on it, like, but it was just like, it feels like it even tastes rushed. Like it was rushed. To me, it did not taste good. It's like I'm not a fan at all. Maybe like, you know, once he gets like, once his proper 12 company that produces that stuff, you know, get some experience and get some years in there, like maybe it'll be good. But not a fan.
But the thing is that I don't think he's marketing to the connoisseurs of alcohol, right?
No,
I think it's more like the dumb drunk fan that's like, oh yeah, this is Conor's stuff. Woo! Like,
hey,
I bought bottles of it, you know, like.
I don't use the term fanboy very often, but the fanboys are making his company big. With that, you know what I'm saying, you know. Yeah. So Raider says, I think he was in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong people. He's always in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong people, right? Like, fucking Brett busted his cell phone a couple weeks ago, which, by the way, the goofy bastard whose phone that was, like, bro, do not put pictures of this stuff on the internet. Like, I could have helped but ridicule him. Like, did you see a picture of this motherfucker?
No.
Dude, look, I mean, if you care, look at a picture of this dude and you'll be like, motherfucker, what? Like, no, dude, fuck out of here with your weird little purse and short shorts. Get out of here.
Look. And it was in Miami, right? So,
it was in Miami.
a lot of those guys that live there, Eddie, with the
Yeah.
weird perks and probably all coked out of their brains. Listen, she's right. That's Raider, right? That's saying that.
Yeah, wrong place. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, Conor has gotten away from what got him to the dance, right? Coach Kavanaugh training hard, not really, turning down movie roles and other things to just concentrate on what is getting him to the dance, which is fighting. And he's gotten away completely from that. And now we see him, kind of mixing in with the wrong crowd, getting into more trouble, blah, 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 blah. You know, he just needs to reset himself and refocus on what he wants to do. If he doesn't want to do this anymore, he wants to be like Nick Diaz and just have fun, not fight anymore. Hey, good on
Fair
you,
enough.
dude.
Fair enough.
Made your money. Just stop stringing us along. That's all I care about.
Right. But meanwhile, he put his retirement tweet out, and I retweeted it, but I was like, "See ya, I don't care." Like, look, don't get me wrong, I enjoy watching that dude fight. He's a bad motherfucker, but I don't care. Like, I wouldn't miss him. I really wouldn't. Like, all right, cool. You fought what, twice in 3 years? What are you gonna do? MMA guys, that's a good question. So McGregor's was trying to negotiate for July, have a fight like that, but he also wants a piece of the company, which has been reported, right? He said it himself. He wants equity. He wants a piece of the company, whatever. MMA God says, I don't think he deserves a share of the company. What do you think? It's no. I don't. What do you think?
No. He's not good enough, or he's not big enough, in my opinion, to deserve that, just due to the fact that he hasn't fought enough in the company. I don't like. I know it's gonna be a weird name, but I could see someone like a Joe Lozon or a Cowboy, somebody that has basically made their name in the UFC and is like the UFC guy. Like, they come to him, he fights every 6 to 8, 9 months. Is always active, is always out there engaging with the fans, is a personality that everybody enjoys. Even a Diaz brother, if they fought more often, I could see that, man, because they bring something of value to the company. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're promoting, they're active in the company, they go to different events, all that other stuff. Conor, what does he do? He puts out a tweet and he goes, "There, you're welcome. I just marketed your company." That's not enough, man. You have to engage with the fans. You have to be a part of like this community. And to me, it feels like at first he was and he understood that, and now he's gotten completely away from that. So no, I don't think he deserves a part of the company. Yeah. He's built his name there, but he's also expanded his name outside of MMA.
Right.
Yeah.
And then HM saying, like, Dana White, he's quoting Dana White. He says, like Dana White said, Michael Jordan didn't get a piece of the Bulls. 100%. If anybody deserves a piece of whatever the company or team that we're on, it's fucking Michael Jordan. Greatest of all time, right? Instead, he had to go and, like everybody else, buy his own team. And he bought the Charlotte Hornets. Not doing well. But, I mean, doing all right this season. But overall, not doing well. So,
and I think some of the famous people that invested in Endeavor and bought a piece of the company, I think it was Mark Wahlberg, told them, "Hey, then put up your money, and I'll give you some of my percentage of the company if you want." Right. Like, yeah, you just got to do what everybody else is doing, right? Put your money where your mouth is, invest your money into the company, and then you're an owner. Good job.
Yeah, exactly. He just wants to be given it, and I get it. Shoot your shot, ask, but he's not going to get it. HM says, no way, a piece of the company is so much money, no single fighter can afford it. MMA God says, that's a slippery slope for the UFC if they did. I'm all for fighters getting paid and fairly compensated, though. 100%. You get paid your millions, dude. Like, I'm not one to be like, limit yourself. You're only worth this much. But, and you can ask. Asking's fine. Hey, can I get a piece of the company? No. All right. But, try and do this negotiation tactic because you want a piece of the company and you're not getting it. You're going to kick and scream, whatever. Like I said, go after what you think you're worth, right? But if you don't get it, don't get all pissy about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, even in our regular business, in regular life, you think you deserve something else and you ask for it, you don't get it. It's like, okay, what do I need to be able to attain that? Oh, okay, I need to do this, or I need to invest this, or I need to just modify this or learn this or anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like you're saying, Conor wants to be gifted something just because he's a name. That's not how it works, man. And you're right. Like, get your money, but also don't just keep asking for something that you're just not going to get. You don't deserve, like you don't deserve a piece of the company.
Right, exactly. Plus, you have to go through the ownership to get a piece of the company, and I don't know how they're just going to give you a piece of the company. So, yeah. All right. I was trying to pull up Brett Okamoto's Twitter because it seems like that's the guy breaking news these days. It's not so much the nose anymore. You see what's going on with the nose?
He's in a Twitter beef with Ali, right?
It's the best shit I've seen in a long time. Because it's win-win for me, right? Like, Ariel can talk all that bullshit to fucking to Ali and he's been torturing him. I gotta give Ariel credit. He blocked me. I can't see his shit, so people screenshot it and send it to me. Which cool. Appreciate that, by the way. Appreciate it because it's a lot of fun to see this shit go down. But he's been torching Ali like a motherfucker. I can't wait till they run into each other in the back of the next pay-per-view event, and Ali just slaps him silly, right?
He won't.
Like, yo, fuck, it'd be great if he did. Like, I wanted it to happen because then, look, you torched Abdelaziz, he got owned, and then now you got the shit slapped out of you. You got owned. Win-win for me. I enjoy that shit. Fuck yeah, let's get that on video and everything. But regardless, it's weird. So, what are you gonna do?
Look, how many beta male videos have you posted on our Instagram and Facebook page of people thinking they want to fight?
Yeah.
And they roll up on some dude that's a real G, a real fighter, smacks them once, and most of the time they're like, "Oh, nah, I don't want none of this," and then they get KO'd, right? That's Ariel to a T. Look at him. He's still talking to. I think I saw a clip of him talking to Rockhold, saying, if you were Lionheart, wouldn't you just taken that DQ win?
Dude, that disgusted me.
I hate Rockhold, for the record, but him saying, I just would have won that fight. I mean, that's the best answer, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but I would never take that win, but yeah, I just would have won that fight.
Yeah. And I like how the way he said it, and Ariel felt like, oh, I'm such a bitch. Like, he knew it too. Like, fuck. But that's why you don't fight, dude, Ariel, because you would be a bitch like that. Plus, you wouldn't get a title shot, believe me. But he doesn't. That bothers me. He doesn't train. It bothers the fuck. I mean, I know a lot of MMA, like media, whatever, don't really train, but Luke Thomas trains. It's a handful of them that train and shit. But HM asked, "Where can I see that on their Twitter?" Yeah, go to Ariel's Twitter and just go to not the tweets, but tweets and replies or something like that, and just scroll down. And they've been going at each other for a day or so.
I think it started with Khabib's account saying something that was very succinct and very well written in English.
Yeah,
which is not what Khabib is saying, because he doesn't even speak English that well enough to be able to, write that perfectly. And then I think Ali retweeted that and commented on it or something. And then of course Ariel torches him by saying you forgot to switch your account again or something like that.
Yeah.
Look, Ariel I think has realized now that he's losing his credibility. And the only way to get that back is honestly to go after the right people, the right stories, right?
Right.
And the right story right now is the whole Ali thing. Because look what just happened. Ali got Cejudo and Moraes in a title fight. That means he's getting double pay for basically those fights, right?
Yeah, that's insane.
Those guys. And I think MMA Junkie was, I think it was Junkie, it might have been Luke Thomas, was talking about how if Moraes wins, I think he will have 3, if not 4 champions in his roster under his company.
Usman, Cejudo,
Moraes if he wins.
Moraes if he wins. Who's the other one?
If anybody can remember what the other person is, I think there was one more.
Okay. I mean, what it is.
I mean, that even still 3 champions, I mean, that's pretty powerful. That can command a lot of power in the UFC. Something that we don't think, and me personally, I don't think any one management company should have the ability to be able to be like, well, we're going to take all your champions all at once. And, unless you bend and will to what we want. So, it's a little dangerous, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. But, yeah, I don't know, dude. Fucking, I feel bad though. Like Mike Russell MMA on Twitter. He's been doing all his work on Ali for years. People have been shitting on him and whatnot. And so Ariel kind of like is going to jump and start talking shit. Here's the thing about Ariel. Remember when Ariel first moved to ESPN and Fred started saying like that's a mistake. He shouldn't have done that. He should have stayed with MMA fighting. Yeah, MMA fighting. Like I agreed. I didn't agree as much, but seeing like how little like you see him now because he's not like he's on ESPN on shows once in a while. He commentates whatever, and he does his little ESPN Plus show that I don't watch. And I think he does a show on YouTube still somewhere. I don't remember, but like
I believe it's all on ESPN.
Okay, well there you go. But the fact that not everybody has an ESPN like thing.
But you know what's the funniest part? He went to ESPN Zone. And you would think that him being a part of the company, he would go back to being the guy breaking the news. And it's still Brett Okamoto.
I think it's because his relationship with Dana White's kind of fucked.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? I'm pretty sure that stings him. That like hurts Ariel to like the core. That he's not able to still finagle his way and being able to break the news like he used to.
100%. When and again, this is some fourth wall shit for you guys. Like, like I don't hate the dude. He just annoys the fuck out of me calling himself a journalist when he's not. He's clearly not. It's quite obvious he's not.
Listen, you guys, real journalists, go to Joe Rogan's podcast. I think his name is Ben Anderson, who was just on last week. That's a real journalist.
Yeah,
a guy that's literally getting bullets and close to stepping on mines and learning everything about a country. And inserting himself in dangerous situations and writing about it in such wonderful words and pieces and putting together a wonderful docuseries and all that stuff. That's a journalist. Look, the guy that wrote a book that was on his Joe Rogan's podcast as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's also a journalist. Ariel, he's just a sports writer and not even a very good
and not even a writer or a sports writer at all. He's like a mouthpiece. He's been a mouthpiece of the UFC forever. And Ali's mouthpiece, and I guess maybe like because Ariel moved to ESPN, he was like, well, now I can go after Ali. Fuck him, whatever. Mm-hmm. But you're right. It's got to sting him. And again, like, look, when he moved to ESPN, I was like, hey, Ariel, do you, bro? That's a better check for you. Get that money for your family. Fuck yeah. I will never, ever tell him, anybody, man or woman, anybody, that they shouldn't go after the money. Fucking go after the money. If it's going to make your life better, do it, right? But just understand that shit comes with that, including, getting shit on a little bit. But yeah, Brett Okamoto still breaking news and shit. And Ariel's kind of pissed. Not pissed, but, you're right. It seems like it probably stings him. That being said, I haven't seen that dude's face in fucking forever. Like, not on the internet, not anywhere. And it's like not on ESPN. I don't even have cable, to be honest. So maybe he's been on there. I don't know. But I have ESPN Plus, but I don't watch any of his stuff. That being said, I don't watch Luke Thomas either. Like, I just get like the highlights. He's getting annoying. That dude's getting annoying. Like a little bit. I like Luke Thomas. I like Luke. But this whole donks thing, and if you don't agree with me or if you even criticize my opinion in any way, shape, or form, even if it's constructive or even if you want to have like a real discussion, oh, fuck you, I'm going to block you. Like, everyone hits me up about how they're blocked by him.
Oh, yeah, everybody's blocked by him. You know what? I don't mind him just because he understands, like, he can't listen to anybody. He has to do what he does. And
100%. Yeah.
For everybody else. And I understand that. Like, the thing that irks me more about Ariel is the fact that he's so, like, he wants to be what Luke Thomas is, who Luke Thomas has a lot of respect from a lot of fighters because oh yeah, well, John Jones, whatever. He doesn't respect anybody, but he commands a lot of respect from a lot of fighters. And I think Ariel knows that a lot of fighters thinks he's just a wackadoodle joke, especially with this whole take the win, Lionheart, take that DQ win with you. I think he even lost a lot more credibility in a lot of fighters' eyes, because you and I, look, I'm not going to go fight anybody in the cage. But if you were to tell me, dude, you got to go fight that guy for money, and he knees me in the head, and they're like, hey, do you want the easy way out or do you want to keep going? I'm going to do my best to keep going, man, because I know, like it's just something that either you have or you don't have. And if you're trying to project your like not having it to other people, that's a problem.
Yeah. No, it really is. So yeah, a little tangent there on the state of the MMA media. The MMA media is kind of like, at the mercy of the UFC though, because everyone's so afraid of losing like access that they won't criticize anybody. It's weird.
But you could do your job well still. I mean, John Morgan to me is one of the best out there, and he travels with them, and he knows them very, very well. And he's able to really navigate those waters well enough to where he's still got the access, but he's able to still, hit them with interesting questions and, figuring out things that most journalists wouldn't even dare ask. But that's just because John Morgan is John Morgan, and he's very respected in what he does.
Right.
He's a workhorse.
Yeah, he's just he's kind of the same thing. He's just a kind of UFC mouthpiece, but his job isn't really to his job is to cover fights. It's not necessarily to criticize anybody. You know what I mean? So he's kind of not really a journalist either. Like he is, but he isn't. Right? He's kind of a weird thing. Like Gigi. Like he's a commentator. Gigi's a commentator, right? Interview and shit like that, but I don't think Gigi's broken news in a while, but
no, and he's not like that. He's Gigi and Goes both understand that they're big fans of the sport, and they already know. You can't be fans of anybody. You can't do that, but they are, and that's what makes them great, because you feel their fandom and you feel how excited they are about all this stuff.
You know what I like about them though? What I always say about those guys is about Gigi and Goose is that they have the best job on the planet. They get their fans. They get to talk about a sport on fucking satellite radio. It's kind of cool. It's pretty cool, honestly. So, wow, 1 second. Allergies are hitting Arizona, ladies and gentlemen. It's because all these East Coasters brought their fucking plants with them years ago, and now we're like, fuck. This used to be the place you go to if you had allergies. Now you can't even go down the street without sneezing your ass off in the springtime. So it sucks. Anyway, MMA guys, moving us right along. Gatekeepers Barbosa this weekend. What a fucking fight.
Wait. Can we take a second to admire at the fact that I called Pettis winning against the bigger guy?
Right, forgot about that. Let's go back a little bit. Yeah, I know. Let's go back a little bit more. Just very quickly, let's talk about Darren Till getting knocked the fuck out by Jorge Masvidal. And then Jorge Masvidal winning 2 fights that night. Him and Leon Edwards. That was awesome. Like, okay, now I get it. Here's the thing. It was his opinion. Ash hit me up. He's just like, I asked him, like, what do you think about the whole thing with Jorge and Leon? He was kind of like, if Darren Till had done that, they'd be crucifying him. And I'm like, I don't think so. But his point was that because Jorge Masvidal is gangster and it's expected of him to do shit like that, that people were just kind of like, all right. I don't think Darren Till, if Darren Till done that, they wouldn't have done that either. They would have been like, whatever. You know what I mean? But,
yeah, but I think it takes a certain person, right? If Cejudo had done something like that, probably we'd all be laughing, right? Because
we'd laughing our ass off.
That's not Cejudo, but Masvidal, we already know he used to fight in the backyard brawls with Kimbo.
Yeah.
That's a real guy right there. That's a guy who you don't want to step to him because he's gonna pop you with the 3-piece and a soda, as he likes to say.
God, that was awesome. Honestly,
that was the best thing ever.
I just laughed my ass off because it's like someone was talking shit and they got dealt with. Like, yo,
and that's how he is, right? He even said it leading up to the fight. Like, yeah, Till's been talking massive stuff to me. He's been saying all this stuff. Well, guess what? You're gonna see me in that octagon. We're gonna handle it.
Yeah.
That's just how he is. Like the Diaz brothers, like Khabib. There's certain people that if you mouth off and they catch you in the street,
it's gonna go down.
Yeah, you're gonna get consequences one way or another.
100%. That's what you were talking about. How Ali tweets for Khabib and all that. It's funny because Habib don't speak English. It's funny. The words that Habib knows is or the phrases that Habib knows the best, or that's number one bullshit. And then talk now is beating the fuck out of Conor. Because Conor kept telling him it's just business. Habib wasn't hearing any of that shit. He was probably like, I don't know what he just said. I think he just cussed me out. Fuck him. Like, talk now. Like, he probably had to go back watch the tape and be like, what is he saying right there? He's like, he's saying it's just business. He goes, oh fuck. All right. Hey, my bad, dog. Like, he's a real one. He's a real one.
MMA gods, you're so right. Masvidal is a legend, and that guy, and he gets like, he doesn't get the respect he deserves. And I hope after that fight, now people put him on the radar and go, yeah, that's a guy that everybody needs to worry about.
He's always been that guy. He hasn't gotten the fucking wins that he needs to be like recognized that way, right? But
right.
I'm a fan, and you can tell obviously by the guys that I'm like that I follow the most, like the Diaz brothers, Jorge Masvidal, Gilbert Melendez. Like I think as people and as fans, we kind of like we're fans of people that are similar to us or grew up the way we did. Like I was just like that, right? Growing up, I was getting into scraps and whatnot. So that's why, like, at Jorge Masvidal, I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to watch that dude fight, or Yancy Medeiros, or Nate Diaz, Gilbert Melendez, Diego Sanchez, guys that just fucking scrap their entire life. Like, I'm a big fan of those guys. But like, I don't know. Like, I like GSP, but like GSP, with like the modern shit and all that. Everyone's got their story and everything, but I like the rough around the edges fighters. Those backstories are the best to me.
Who's that one fighter that got twisted back in the day?
Fuck, what is his name? That was a weird fucking.
But you know what I'm talking about. That
yeah,
guy,
yeah.
Hang out with Cowboy. Cowboy has crazy stories about that guy.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Leonard Garcia.
Yeah. There you go, Leonard Garcia. That's another guy that's a real dude.
God, Leonard was a bad motherfucker, dude. That dude was like, if you called him a name on the street, he'd fuck you up. Even if you're with like 1,000 of your homies, he would come at you. He didn't give a damn. That dude was a bad. Remember that dude was fighting? He'd be just a savage.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad. I'm hoping he's not fighting anymore. I'm glad he's not fighting anymore. He didn't take all that damage. But that Leonard was a fucking hell yeah, bad motherfucker. All right. But let's talk about Catchup Barbosa this week. Actually, no, fuck, my bad. MMA guys, we'll get to it. I promise. The fight we just mentioned a second ago.
Pettis and Wonderboy.
Pettis, Wonderboy. I think I picked Wonderboy, but no, I picked Pettis.
No, you picked Wonderboy.
Are you sure? I was pretty sure I picked Pettis. Whatever. Regardless.
You picked Pettis after he knocked out Wonderboy, and you're like, yeah, I picked him.
No, I thought Pettis would be able to get the fight to the ground, but that's just me.
I think he did say something about a submission.
Yeah. I thought that was gonna happen. Takedown and then just fucking submission. But Wonderboy was winning that fight, dude. Like he kept him at bay, kicks coming out from everywhere. He had Pettis looking all rough and shit. And then that Superman punch. Dude, from the angle that the camera was at, like it looked like he kicked off the cage on Superman. I'm like, dude, he just came with his next Showtime move. Like that was sick. It was just a regular Superman punch. And he just cracked him real good, dropped his ass, and it was game over. That was a huge win for Pettis. Now Pettis is getting thrown in there with the likes of anybody at 170, pretty much. Someone was talking about Pettis and McGregor at 170.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing that fight, but no, I'm good. Like, I think that'd be a weird fight to like book. But a big fan of Pettis and see what happens with him next. But I thought for sure he'd be in trouble at 170. You know what I mean? Especially against a guy like Wonderboy. You think Pettis can make a move against those top 5 guys?
No. I think this was one of those things where like Cowboy, he looked good against a couple dudes at 170, but against the top tier guys, I don't think he'll do as well. And I also think that maybe Wonderboy is past his prime at this point, man. I think Wonderboy really, he's been taking a lot of damage, even though he hasn't been KO'd. This is the first time he's been KO'd. Mm-hmm. Just the last couple fights that he's been in, they've been brutal, man. And he gets pieced up, and he's just been chipping away at his chin. And at his age, I think he's also 35, 36, something like that.
Yep.
At that age, I mean, you're just not the same anymore, man. You can't recover as well. You can't really, do anything to improve your chin after it starts to go. And it could be that it's starting to go, man, at this point,
Yeah. No, I think so many fights your chin starts to go, and it's kind of it's not looking good for him. But I think, give him a chance to heal up, come back, and get a couple fights, and we'll get a better understanding of where he's at, I think. And
let me ask you this. What else does he have to prove? He fought for the title twice. He's been a great competitor. He's been a great ambassador to the sport. What else does he need to do? He could literally, ride into the sunset tomorrow, and I don't think he would have too much to hold his head, down over. I mean, he can hold his head high from now on.
And I agree. I just think as a competitor, he doesn't want to go out like that. Like he'd rather lose like a title fight and then retire than do that. But Wonderboy is one of those like rare, and I call him rare, but those rare guys that's like a real true martial artist, right? Like
Yeah.
He understands what this is about, and I think he'd be a smart enough guy to go, yeah, I'm done. I'm good to go. But again, it's
you never know, man. That manly pride can sometimes get the best of us,
Yeah. Okay. Here's a little bit of oh wait, never mind. Cool, never mind. We're good. Was Nate Diaz ranked recently, or wasn't he unranked for a while?
I don't know.
All of a sudden, he's ranked 14. Huh.
Okay. That's still not good.
No, but hear me out. I think we're gonna that Conor's working on Conor Nate 3. Remember last time? I know, but hear me out. Like every time you want to get a crazy fight, some weird fight, out of nowhere, this fucking dude just pounced up in the rankings.
It doesn't do anything for me though. At this point,
No, I fully agree. I just want to see the trilogy. We need to get this trilogy already. Find out who's the baddest motherfucker out of those two. But I don't need a ranking for that. It's just all of a sudden Nate's back in the rankings like that. Now I might be wrong. He might have already been in there for a while. You know what I mean? I don't look at the rankings. I don't think they were shit, but I have them up right now because we're talking about the other fights. So just real quick, that's just my Eddie Bravo shit conspiracy fucking alarm for just a quick second. It's a lightweight ranking too, so yeah. Meanwhile, Anthony Pettis is ranked number 8 now at welterweight. The guys above him: Stephen Thompson, number 7; Darren Till, number 6; Ben Askren, teammate, number 5; Jorge Masvidal, number 4; RDA, number 3, which I believe he already lost to, right? And then Colby Covington, Tyron Woodley, Kamaru Usman.
How about that? How about an RDA rematch at 170? That could be a good one.
I'd be okay with that, but RDA fucked his world. Oh, it's a different RDA now, so I'd be all right with that. The thing is, he beats RDA. Anthony Pettis is gonna be like, I deserve a title shot at 170.
Why not? Let's do it.
Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't be against that, but 170 is gonna be a logjam at that point. So he wouldn't get the title shot for a minute. All right. Okay, finally, Gaethje, Barbosa this weekend. Who are you picking?
You know what? I can't go against my guy. I gotta go with Gaethje, man. I love Barbosa. Barbosa is probably one of the best strikers. You know, the way he attacks people, the speed that he hits people with the leg kicks is just, it's mind-boggling, man. Like you see the way he throws those kicks. They have no wind-up. They have no setup. They just come out of nowhere and thwack. They like screw up your world. Like your world is so messed up after one of those kicks. Take 2-3 of those, and now you're thinking like, damn, now I have to live. Now I have to really like figure out how to avoid getting kicked. Then he starts working on your other side, hits your body. Like it's just like baseball bats to your body, man, with the way he kicks. And it's so ferocious and it's so damaging. But Gaethje just loves to take damage and push forward and use that damage that you throw on him and just throw it back at you, And I think this is just going to be one of those really, really good fights where someone is definitely going to go to sleep, more than likely. And it's going to be exciting up until it's not. It's going to be exciting up until someone gets KO'd or something. So I just think Gaethje's able to, he's very, very good. You've seen him against the Palomino fights.
Twice,
he massive damage, kicks, everything, and he just eats it up.
And that's why I think Barbosa is going to win. Because he's taking so much fucking damage in so long. Like, he knocked out James Vick, I think, August last year, I think.
Yeah.
Fair enough. 100% fair enough. That was a great fucking win for him. Main event to the fight night. Yeah, fight night.
Yeah. MMA Gods with a good joke there.
Think Gaethje would try to use his wrestling for once? No. I wish he would, but no. Anyway. If there was a fight to use it on, this is the one. Okay, Habib, you got to be using that Habib fucking game plan against Edson. But I think Barbosa is gonna knock him out. The knockouts against Eddie Alvarez and Dustin Poirier were just fucking like. Sure, he can still take damage. Those are late round knockouts. I think Poirier got him in the 4th or the 5th, but he still knocked him out, right? I just think. I just don't buy it. I don't know. I love Justin Gaethje. He's so much fucking fun to watch, but he's taking so much damage. I wonder if finally there's a crack in that chin that can be taken advantage of. So I'm rooting for Justin Gaethje, 100%. I hope he proves me wrong, but I think Barbosa is going to take this knockout win, probably in the later rounds again. And at this point, you got to start thinking like Justin Gaethje, like, come on, bro, you're 30 years old and you already sound like Diego Sanchez does now. So
Ugh.
you got the miles on you, dude. Like I wish he would use his wrestling. I hope he does. I hope he just 1-2 shoot for the fucking double and hold Edson down and just ground and pound him. But Gaethje thrives on being like a gladiator, so I don't think he'll do that. Which makes him super exciting, but also puts him in so much danger. But that's what you love about Gaethje.
I think Joe Rogan mentions it, or used to mention it every time he would fight, that he grew up with a dad who every day would go work at like some sort of mine or something, some sort of factory, and it's a special type of dude that every day can wake up, strap on his boots, and hit the job hard, and not take a day off, not be like, oh, I don't feel good, I don't feel up to it, I feel sick. Not like, it's a special type of dude that does that. And he breeds, those type of dudes breed children that are just tough and just like can grind. Not everybody can do that, and it's not something you learn. It's either you have it or you don't. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So.
Oh shit! Did we lose him?
Yeah. Sorry, I had to cough.
All right. You're good. You're
good. But yeah, Gaethje's just that type of guy, and yeah, his wrestling is great. We've seen him use it defensively, never offensively, and it's just sad that he'll never use that to his advantage. Because he says that it'll make it too boring of a fight. Blah blah blah. It's not exciting. That's not what people pay for. Hey man, I just don't want to see him, end up, a couple brain cells too few.
Fucking being, getting interviewed like fucking Chuck Liddell does, where Liddell can't remember whatever thought he was on. Yeah, that's some scary shit.
Real quick, we never touched on the El Kukui.
Oh god, that shit. Here's the thing, and we'll talk about it right now. That has me so bummed out, man. Like that has me so bummed out because it's just like first of all, the news comes out, wife gets a restraining order against Tony Ferguson. Everyone starts calling him a woman beater and shit. Turns out, as far as I've read, he didn't even touch her, right?
No.
But apparently he's been having these like episodes where he's like super paranoid and he's just like, I think he poured holy water on her and shit. And they goddamn fucking TMZ assholes fucking released the 911 call. That's embarrassing, dude. Why the fuck you gonna do that shit? Because I get it.
Because it's news. And remember, if you saw Nightcrawler, if it bleeds, it leads, man.
Oh, 100%. Hey, everyone likes to joke around about about media and journalism and shit. Like that is a real. I heard when I was in the newsroom, in like the TV newsroom, that shit was a real saying, dude. Like they fucking, it wasn't like out and out in the in the meetings with the executive producers and shit, but it was like you knew what they were meant, right? So yeah, 100% it's there. But it's embarrassing. It's just goddamn, like, dude, just let that man handle his shit in privacy, right? But it's goddamn, like every time it starts going away, man, the mental health makes its way back into the forefront, which it should always be, right? It should be a thing that we just take, deal with all the time. MMA God says that list of things he did was really rough to read, 100%. And love the dude. I hope he gets better.
You know what? Like, I haven't had the chance to talk to somebody, but maybe you can ask your girl about this.
Yeah.
From the timeline, from when he was on The Ultimate Fighter, he had a mental breakdown.
Right.
And so they put him on medication, and he's been on medication and has done pretty well.
Yeah.
Up until his wife even says that he started acting strange after he had his surgery on his knee. And I think that maybe when he was in the hospital, because you can't mix medications,
right.
You can't give sometimes certain people medications because of the surgery, the anesthesia, all this other things. I think they screwed up his balance that he had going for himself, and now anybody that has any kind of mental health issues, if you screw up or unbalance their medication, miss a medication, they double dose, they underdose, anything, even like the doctor adjusts their dosage by like a milligram or 0.5 milligrams, that can set them off so bad. Just recently, a comedian, Brody Stevens,
that was sad.
He had talked about, like, prior to that they had switched his medication, and he was feeling depressed, and he was trying to get past the hump of the medication switch. He couldn't get past it, man. And this is really, really serious because a lot of people are attributing this to CTE. And yeah, it's not good if you've got already some kind of mental health issue. Getting hit in the head, definitely not a good thing for you. But if you have everything under control, you have your medication, you have all that stuff under control, and you're on it all the time, as Tony Ferguson probably would be, because he's so mentally strong and doing what he needs to do for himself, making sure that he's healthy and everything. I just think that something happened during that whole surgery thing, and it has him all kinds of messed up. And it's sad because mental health is important, but
Right.
I want everybody to understand this is not CTE, guys. This is that he has some, I forget what they were saying. Like
they said bipolar, and maybe schizophrenic.
Like yeah, it was like two things rolled into one that he had, and he was on medication for it. They even specified the medication in one of the articles I read. I think it was MMA Junkie that had that, and it's sad because you cannot attribute CTE to this,
right?
But this is a medication thing, and hopefully with time he can get everything back under control, and we can see him get healthy. But it's scary because when someone that has had their mental health adjusted, and this is what's going on, understand that it's not because that he did something physically, it's the possibility of something that he could do, because someone that's not in their right state of mind, it doesn't matter if they're a good guy, if they're a terrible guy, if they wouldn't hurt a fly. When you're not in your mental health at peak and you have these breakdowns, like, you're not yourself. You could be a completely different person. You could do things that you would regret for the rest of your life. And that's what makes this so sad to hear. Because he's a good guy. We all know he's weird, but now this is just something so different. And if you look back at the timeline, it happened around the time he had his knee surgery and all this stuff. So I mean, it just seems to me like something happened there within the time that he went to do his surgery until now. Like he just can't get it together.
Yeah. No, I mean, fuck, I'm trying to find the fucking article about his medication, whatever. Like what I've read is that, or heard actually on Twitter, so I can't even say that I read it from like a credible source, but was that it's like schizophrenia and bipolar, and both those things are scary. But from what I want to say that they're even worse if you're getting hit in the head. You know what I mean?
It's not good.
No, it's definitely not good. But I'm pretty sure those things are like the worst thing you could possibly do for bipolar and for schizophrenic. But like you said, look, I don't even care, honestly, don't care if we ever see him fight again. I just don't want to see the dude fucking dead anywhere, or ODing, or fucking hurting somebody, or hurting himself or his family. Yeah. Like, I don't want to see it. Like, I wouldn't care. Like, as long as that dude just takes care of himself, like, it's just a shitty situation. They getting it put out by fucking TMZ the way it is now. Like, as soon as TMZ put out that video, every website anywhere ran with it, and they're like, UFC's Tony Ferguson, blah blah, and now they're like making MMA fighters look fucking awful.
But see, this is the thing. Nobody is attributing this to what it really is. This is a mental health issue.
Right. They're calling it CTE.
And everybody's afraid to say that. Like, mental health is important, guys. Like, anybody can suffer from any kind of mental health issue. That doesn't make you a bad person. That doesn't make you a bad person. It's something that just happens to you. Either you're born with it, or a life experience or something can just mess up your brain, and some kind of trauma. Of course, getting hit to the head, definitely. Even the studies are finding that if you take marijuana, and you're already prone to some sort of mental disease, that can help you trigger that. There's so many things that your brain is such a fragile thing. You already know this, CTE, right? But we got to call it what it is. This is just mental health, and everybody needs to understand that this guy just needs to get the help. Because look, when he was on his medication and everything was good, he was fine. He was doing what he was supposed to be doing. He looked awesome in the octagon. He was, weird, but yet he wasn't like, we weren't hearing these stories.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so many people around the world, when they're medicated, they could be schizophrenic, they could have bipolar, but they're fine. There's nothing to be ashamed of any of this stuff. It's just getting the help that they need and getting the medication and all that stuff is just something that needs to be done. We don't ridicule people for having a broken leg and be like, oh, come on, man, you broke your leg, like what the hell is that? Like, oh, you got to wear a cast, pussy, like, no, we don't do that, but for mental health it's so different.
Yeah, mental health is an issue that's been around forever, and but you're right, no one wants to talk about it. Everyone's scared of talking about it. And we're getting to the point where it's like, every kid's on fucking, ADD meds, or everybody's on something. It's something that needs to be like talked about without that stigma of, oh, you're fucking weird because you got something, right?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, because of that stigma, a lot of people just keep it to themselves. They don't deal with it. They just, keep pushing it down. And then, you get unfortunate situations. And man, Brody Stevens fucked me up, dude. Like, that bummed me the fuck out when that came out. Like, that dude, committed suicide. And it was just like, fuck. And you knew he was dealing with some shit, right? Like, he talked about it, and his comedian friends talked about it, like, after the fact a little bit, right? And it's some sad shit. And I don't want to see Tony Ferguson go out like that. That'd be
right. See, and that's the thing. We see the issues. The singer of Linkin Park with depression.
That one.
The singer of what was it?
Fucking.
What was the other singer? Damn it.
Just recently?
No. He's also rocker. He was like soon after the guy from Linkin Park.
I can't remember.
Damn it. Anyway, he also was suffering from depression, and he skipped medication dose, and his wife had to call the hotel that he was staying at to get a check on him, because she was like, he sounded weird. He said he forgot his medication, and something happened, and then he committed suicide. Like, these things happen all the time. It's just having people around you that know you and care about you and don't stigmatize, like you're saying, this is a bad thing. If you have the opportunity and you have Amazon Prime, Brody Stevens special is on there that you can watch. Go look at that and just see what kind of a talent he was, that we just lost because of that.
Yeah. And shout out, and the one that's always going to get me is Robin Williams. Robin Williams.
Oh, yeah.
God damn, that fucked me up bad. Like, ever since I was a little kid, I always loved Robin Williams because he wasn't like a dirty comic. He could say some dirty shit, but he was fast, quick, and funny as shit on his feet, and it was like great. And I remember when he passed, I was like, yo, fuck, dude, really? It was one of those that hit you right in the fucking gut, hard. But yeah, man. All right, let's finish up talking about this weekend's card, and then we'll get moving here because we're running out of time. All right. So this is going to be on ESPN Plus. I believe the entire card's on ESPN Plus. No. Okay. Early prelims, ESPN Plus. We got Alex Perez against Mark De La Rosa, Marina Moraes taking on Sabina Maizo. Ray Borg gets his like fucking 18th like replacement fucking opponent, Casey Kenny. That's at 12:30. I want to say it's Pacific time on ESPN Plus. This is Wells Fargo Center in Philly. The prelims, the regular prelims, are going to be on ESPN. Kevin Hall against Gerald Meishart. Oh, Jesus. And Enrique Barzola against Kevin Aguilar. Barzola's a bad motherfucker. Ross Pearson's back against Desmond Green. That's a low-key good-ass fight. And then Marina Rodriguez against Jessica Aguilar. And then the main card, we'll pick this one. It's kind of hard to pick. Let's just pick from the Watterson fight up. But Sodiq Yusuf against Shayman Moraes. Kennedy Zechuwu, I want to say, against Paul Craig. This is the first big fight on the main card. Karolina Kovacevic against Michelle Watterson. Who are you picking there?
Man, Michelle Watterson has looked pretty good in her last couple fights, and I just have this hope, that we finally she gets the
over the hump, man.
Yeah, like she gets that adulation that she deserves. She's a great fighter, but a lot of people look at her like Paige Van Zandt, like, oh, she's a cute girl that can kind of fight. Yeah. Like they don't give her the respect she deserves. So I hope she wins this fight and she gets that respect that she really, really needs.
Honestly, like I've been rooting for her since her Invicta days. Like I would talk about, I got to cover her in Houston when she lost her belt, which was fucking sad, but the way she handled that loss was incredible. I think it was Erika Tiburcio This is like 2014. This is like fucking forever ago. And she's grown so much since then. It's like 5 years ago, right? And she's grown so much, winning fights at weight class above. Where she's an atom weight fighting at fucking feather the straw weight. It's crazy. But she's coming into this fight 2 in a row, wins a split over split. Who did she beat? Split Courtney Casey.
Might have been, yeah.
Am I right on that? Courtney Casey? Yeah, I think so. And then Felice Herrig shortly after that at 229. Yeah, dude, it's a fucking trip, dude. But I think with a win here, you could actually find a way to get her a title shot soon. Honestly, at 115, I think it could be done. MMA got to ask you see her ESPN E60 segment? Not yet. I actually have that recorded somewhere, so I'm definitely gonna watch it in the next couple of days before her fight. But I'm taking Waterson and for completely like
selfish
fan reasons, right? First of all,
yeah,
it was awesome to my girlfriend when we went to UFC 235. When I was literally just we were in the hotel, we had just gotten back, we were tired, so we were gonna just like zone out for a while. On the Friday, obviously the Friday before the fight was on Saturday. On Friday, and then I'm scrolling through Instagram. She put up on Instagram she's gonna be outside the arena, and my girlfriend's a huge Waterson fan, so of course we made our way down there, met her, and I had bought my girl her leggings, okay, her Waterson, the Karate Hottie leggings. And I bought them, and she wore them to go meet her. And Waterson looks at her and marks the fuck out that she had her leggings on. And she yells at her husband, like, look, like made my girlfriend's day, like a motherfucker, right? And then, the last couple fight, I forgot which fight I was watching. I think it was the Van Zandt fight, I think it was, that I was watching at home with my girlfriend and our girls. And she won, and everyone in my house freaked out. Like they were like, fuck yeah. Not fuck yeah. I was only saying fuck yeah. But, we're all marking out, right? And then she said that line. She goes, I want to be the first UFC champion mom. And you were just like, yo, let's go. Let's get this shit. So I'm rooting for her like a motherfucker. I am picking her to win. And I'm hoping she pulls it off. Because Kovacevic is a tough-ass fucking fight for her. Like,
yeah, it's not an easy fight for sure.
It's a tough-ass fight for her. That's going to be a tough out, 100%. So I'm hoping she pulls it off somehow. Yeah, dude, we'll see. It'll probably. I think if Watson wins, it's a submission or a decision, because Kovacevic could take a fucking beating. We saw that with Joanna Champion, or Joanna former champion. Anyway, All right. Fight up after that, Josh Emmett against Michael Johnson. I like Emmett, but I'm picking Michael Johnson here. But dude, that weight cut, he looks so dead. Like. I saw him at Vegas at 235 walking around and shit. And he's not that big. He used to be way bigger. Now he's, so I think he's like lowered his walk around weight to make that 145 cut easier. So I'm going to pick Michael Johnson. Who you picking there?
Man, it's a tough one. I'm gonna go with Emmett. I think he's got the power to knock out Michael Johnson. Yeah. And I think he just kind of has that weird style that kind of seems to give Michael Johnson a lot of trouble, so I'm gonna go with Emmett.
All right, and then after that, a fight that I'm not gonna bullshit you guys. I don't care about, and it's because I don't care for David Branch, but David Branch against Jack Hermanson. I honestly don't even care. You know what? David Branch is probably gonna win this fight. Honestly, who are you picking?
It's David Branch against who?
Jack Hermanson. Hermanson? Yeah, Hermanson.
God. Wow, tough fight, but I'll go with David Branch.
All right.
I think a lot of people sleep on that guy.
And you picked Justin Gaethje. I picked Edson Barbosa for the main event. So
yep,
sure yeah. All right. So real quick, rundown of the next few cards here before we get off the air tonight. Obviously, UFC on ESPN2 is this weekend. Saturday at 4 p.m. is the main card on ESPN. Prelims are at 2 on ESPN, and early prelims are at 12:30. So you got a full day, and it actually ends kind of early. If it starts at 4, it's probably over by like 8 Pacific time. Translate that shit. The East Coasters are going to be up all night regardless. So, yeah. Then you got UFC 236 in a couple weeks, April 13th from State Farm Arena. I want to say that one's in Canada. No, that one's in – where's that one?
I don't know.
All right, I just clicked on it. Let's see. Atlanta. Okay. Yeah, that's right. That's the Atlanta card. Main card, Open St. Preux against Nikita Krylov, Alan Joban against Beanie Siegel. A lot of people don't like Alan Joban. I don't understand it, but whatever. Big fucking fight, I think, at 205. Eric Anderson against Khalil Roundtree is a bad motherfucking fight. Then you get 2 interim belt fights. Kelvin Gastelum against Israel Adesanya, which I think should be a fucking good-ass fight, but I'm looking at Israel on that one, even though I like Kelvin Gastelum, but I'll make my pick as we get closer. I'll probably switch back to Kelvin because fuck it. Although I don't like his little stunt he pulled after the fucking Australia card. And then main event, the featherweight champ moving up to lightweight for an interim belt against Dustin Poirier. I don't know how that's going to work if Max wins. It's going to be kind of weird, right?
Champ.
There you go. Then April 20th, the weekend after that, Alexander Volkov, main events against Alistair Overeem at it's definitely in Europe. And then Islam Makhachev against Armin Sakhr. Sorry, fuck that last name. Also on the card is Roxanne Modafferi. And I don't think that card's completely finished yet. So
isn't Roxanne fighting Valentina's sister? Antonia?
Oh boy, if she is, she's Fucksville. She is. Oh god, Roxanne, pull out. Don't do that to yourself. That chick is bad as fuck. As annoying as it was to keep hearing fucking Valentina going "hey" over and over again during that fight, that chick can fight. Marcin Tybura is on that card, and Magomed Mustafayev, who I thought for sure was suspended, but maybe I'm thinking about somebody else. All right. Then UFC on ESPN 3, Saturday, April 27th. Euro Americans, Ronaldo Salazar, number 2. Greg Hardy against Dmitry Smolyakov. Alex Oliveira against... What's up?
I said I'm not watching that card.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. You won't. Yeah, that's right. I'll let you know what's up. Mike Perry's just stepped in, I think, today or yesterday to take on Alex Oliveira. I think whoever Oliveira's opponent pulled out. So Mike Perry's bad motherfucker's in there against a killer. Glove Teixeira taking on Ion Cutelaba, John Lineker against Corey Sandhagen. It's actually not a bad card. Overall, it is an ESPN card. Carlos Esparza's on that card against Renata Souza. Andrei Arlovsky in the prelims against Augusto Sakai. All right, hey, get that paycheck, bro. Jessica Penny against Jody Escobar. That's okay. So that one's been moved. So there was supposed to fight 235, and Penny rolled her ankle in warm-ups or in open workouts. Goddamn. And Jim Miller's on that card. Court McGee against Diego Lima. And then after that, you get into the main cards. Donald Cerrone against Ali Quinta on a fight night from Canada. 237 main event, Jessica Andrade against Rosa Majunas with Jose Aldo and Anderson Silva and Lil Nog on that card as well. And then you get into the RDA versus Kevin Lee at Blue Cross Arena in May 18th. So plenty of good, solid cards coming up. Excuse me, especially with these fights that they just announced today. So overall, solid outlook here. I'm not really sure what Bellator's coming up. I should probably have checked that before, but I didn't, so I'm not gonna lie. But there's plenty of MMA coming up that's going to be a lot of fun, especially for you guys that aren't huge on like March Madness and shit. So,
like me,
huh?
Like me,
like you, and NFL draft and shit.
Just in case, on Friday,
yeah,
Combate Americas is having an event. I believe it's the Jose Alday defending his title against. It's a rematch from when they had in Mexico, so It should be a great fight. I forget the other guy's name, the other gentleman's name, but it's a rematch, and it's to basically Alday is defending his title. So should be a good fight on DAZN. I think it's on Friday. Always on Friday. They're live. I think it's from Mexico, or it might be from Arizona.
Real quick before we go, what do you think about that thing that DAZN switched from $10, like was it 20 a month now?
Did they? I didn't even see that.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Like,
oh hell no.
Yeah. Alday versus Lopez.
Gustavo Lopez, right?
Yeah. Gustavo Lopez. And it's probably Tucson. Yeah, Tucson, Arizona. Casino del Sol. They're gonna do the outside fucking event again.
Yeah, screw that.
Tucson, Arizona, March 29th. I think I have something that weekend. I think I can go. If I don't, I'm actually gonna take a shot at going. Maybe I'll drag.
I think sometime in April they're gonna be here in LA. That's the Reinas del Combate, I think is what they're calling it. With all the
Kira's on that card.
Kira Batara.
Dude, I want to see her fight so bad live.
Yeah, she's pretty good live.
Yeah.
Who else is on there? There's a couple of women that they have on that card. Going to be a good night. I think it's at the USC campus. So
USC campus. Yep, that's what it is. Gallon Center. That should be USC campus.
yep.
Damn, I wish I can get out there for that one, but what are you gonna do? Yeah, April 26th. Yeah, maybe. All right, you gonna go?
Yeah, I'm gonna try it. Isn't that the same weekend I'm doing the thing, or is it the weekend?
No, that's the weekend before is when you're doing that thing.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm gonna try and make it.
You're out here, hey.
Hey, you know what? Fuck it. Hey, we're and I think you talked about it last show. Jesse is doing a 5K walk for
multiple sclerosis.
Yeah, but isn't it called something? The organization is called something specific.
I think it's called the MS Walk.
MS Walk. There you go. MS Walk. It's a 5K. You walk it, run it probably, but I'm sure everyone's gonna walk it. It is on April 13th.
Yeah,
no, it's a Saturday. Yeah, April 13th. I don't have a time for you. Let me pull up a website. But if you are in the LA area, it's about like an hour out of LA, maybe a little less than that. But if you're coming out, I'm gonna be in Anaheim that weekend, and I'm gonna make the drive to my homeboy's city. And let me make sure here.
I believe the start time is at like 9 or 10.
Yeah, 9 or 10 a.m. So I'm about to get up early to get out there. But yeah. But let me see. Yeah, 2019. Here we go. Yeah, so it's early. But if you happen to be in LA or around that area, Saturday, April 13th. Yeah, I think you're right about the time. I just don't have the. I just can't find anything. I still got to register to walk. I think, right? Do I have to register? Do you know?
What was that?
Do you know if I have to register for that?
For what?
For the to actually be in the walk or whatever.
Yeah, but the registration is free. You know, there's you don't pay anything. You just gotta sign up ahead of time.
Gotcha. I'm probably going to do that.
My wife is also walking with me.
There you go.
So, you know, should be a fun time if anybody. I think I have my team out there, but I'll try to put it out on my social media. Hopefully today, tomorrow. If anybody wants to join, participate, donate. I already got a donation from my good friend here, Mr. Eddie Law. Appreciate that. So, yeah, if any of you guys, know anything about multiple sclerosis, it sucks. My wife is actually sick right now, so she's double doing, the duties of motherhood, being sick, and MS. So it's a rough time for her right now. But we're gonna try to do this together, and should be a good time. So again, I'm gonna post that on my social medias, hopefully today, if not tomorrow. So if you guys want to take a look at it, donate, spread it out across the land, I would be grateful.
I will say, man, you put out positivity, you're gonna get it back. So donate, come out and walk, just send some, words of support, and everything will be great. But yeah, the walk starts at 10 a.m. So opening ceremony is at 9:30 a.m. So as we get closer, we'll talk about it more. We'll get out there and everything. But I'm looking forward to getting out there, man, and walking with you and your wife, who's an amazing person, super, super nice, super kind, and super strong woman and mother. So, all full credit, man. That is one tough lady. So yeah, we'll talk about it as we get closer. All right. One last check of the headlines here before we head out. And obviously, no Fred Kirby is going to be out doing the damn thing. We'll let him talk about that when he comes back next week. Last check of the headlines. Nothing new that I can see. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. All right. You have anything else?
No, that's it. I think we can wait for Fred next week so we can talk about the whole new pay-per-view model and all that stuff. And
yeah, and folks, we would have talked about that, but definitely something that we want Fred to be around for, because he'll definitely have a strong opinion on. So we'll definitely we'll table that for next week. I know it'll be old news by then, but at least we'll all have our opinions formed. MMA guys says thoughts and prayers to you and your family. There, Jesse. So, yeah, good man. All right, that's gonna do it for us, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate you guys. You can follow Kirby at Kirby_MMA. Send him tweets about why the fuck he wasn't on the show tonight, but it's all good. And obviously Jesse at Spawat 1983. I'm at Elaw31. The page that at Keyboard MMA. Follow us on Instagram at Keyboard Warriors MMA. I post like just videos that I find on the internet of fights, and they're fun and everything. Some get flagged, honestly. Someone's got, someone's a little touchy, and they flagged one of them that I was like, what the fuck are they flagging it for? But if you want to see just random fight shit, I like to find ones where like there's at least one guy that's trained, so you see the importance of training. Okay, like there was one video right now is getting a lot of views on the Instagram, where it's like this like skinny white kid, and he's fighting this dude who's just throwing wild shit, and he drops him, takes his back, and chokes him out. And I'm like, see how important it is to train? You get in a street fight, that training is going to come in handy. Definitely get your ass out there and train. Get your kids out there and training. So, 100% do that. All right. And, so at Keyboard Warriors MMA on Instagram, keyboardwarriorsmma.com. We're all over the place. SoundCloud, iTunes. We're part of the Cage Side Press podcast network, so that'll be up there tomorrow, the day after. This will be up there tomorrow or the day after. We'll be on our own, obviously, on iTunes at Keyboard Warriors. And we're everywhere, folks. Shout out to RepTheWarriors.com for sponsoring the podcast. SpicePros.com. You guys are the shit. So for myself, Jesse, Fred, we love you guys. Shout out to MMA Gods. HM was hanging out with us. Raider was here. Frederick. Fucking a bunch of people. MMA Pixels was here. Who else? I think Joey Tremendous was here for a second, I want to say. He said something. Yeah, he said, hey, my dudes, or something like that. All right. So shout out to you guys. You guys are the shit. You're the reason we do this. Appreciate it. And hopefully we'll get Fred back next week, and we'll have him plenty more to talk about. All right. Enjoy the fights this weekend. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Good night, and good night, Wilshire.